I started to do sequential art because I wanted to tell stories with cartoons, and then I found that using a sequence of them is the ideal to express the messages that I want to pass. So sometimes only one cartoon is not enough for me to tell the stories. I always use black and white for some reasons, but especially because I love this raw aspect of graffiti. So this is one of the characteristics of my work, to maintain black and white, and also because then the spectator can really focus on the forms and the message, so the colors don't take the attention, more than the drawing itself. And because it's minimalism lines, so I think less is more,
Hands are really powerful image. Are so significant, are so expressive. I want to do something like a little emotional. So it's like the hands are like holding tight or pressing or searching something. It's like trying to reach something. And I love the composition, like a focal point, something to reach. And this pattern that maybe it's an organic shape, maybe it's a labyrinth. It's have some ambiguity, but in the way that I like. Ambiguous in a positive way for me. It took some time, but this phase of painting, of doing the details, I enjoyed so much.
Lucrările mele sunt cumva despre jocul de percepție și neoanele creează așa efectul ăla imersiv și mai accentuat. Făceam linogravură și la linogravură ai un singur alb și un singur negru și provocarea este să obții cât mai multe planuri din același negru, să creezi iluzia profunzimii. Asta încerc să creez și acum într-o zonă mult mai geometrică, mai calculată cumva. Îmi place zona asta de pictură murală pentru că fiecare lucrare este un proiect în sine. Conceptul este creat în atelier și toate etapele proiectului sunt gândite în atelier și după aia când vin practic pe teren e implementarea proiectului și de asta la mine procesul de lucru e unul destul de tehnic atunci când sunt în spațiu public.
Bueno, decidimos ponernos el nombre Medianeras porque de todas formas ese es un nombre, es una palabra que se usa mucho en Argentina. La palabra significa las paredes que están compartidas entre vecinos. Esa pared que está entre medio de dos casas se llama Medianeras. Nos pareció lindo esta palabra que habla de compartir, de juntar y que hace referencia a esto, a unir, en contraposición de la palabra, por ejemplo, muro, que tiene más, se entiende más como división, ¿no? Como algo que divide. La medianera une, por eso nos pareció lindo este término.
Sí, también dentro de la palabra medianeras está el hecho de mediar, que es como llegar a un acuerdo, ¿no? Como que nos gustaba esto de darle lugar a la otra para que también participe y así como hacer algo realmente colaborativo.
Well, the artwork shows kind of a figure floating or suspended. He's dreaming. It came from kind of original experiences. I was once very interested in like where you go, where you sleep, where the subconscious leads you, in these kind of ideas. A lot of people see the image, and there were some things which some people thought it was almost demonic or something. Like, what is this like? Or what is this, like drugs? Or there's some people who are drinking is like, oh, he's going to wake up tomorrow morning. I had a lot of people kind of putting their own experiences or reflections on the artworks. I'm trying to speak something more positive or something, but there's so many mixed messages. But I think that's just the nature of work. People interpret through their own life experiences. I think that's a good thing about artwork, at least it opens up a debate. So some people were very short, but some people were really interested. And I was quite shocked at how many people had similar experiences and didn't quite understand it. And so when I kind of shared my story as well, it kind of, there was a good point of communication.
It's a psychedelic composition of object and little character. Looks like a kitchen. I think about a table of a kitchen with some stuff that look like a little bit magic. And then also I add some stuff that I see in Romania. I search in internet for
Like Romania,
typical Romanian kitchen, and I put some stuff from there, like the spoon. The wood spoon that it's here. It's really hard for me to define my work, but one time United States blog defined my work children-friendly psychedelic drawings. So now I always define like this, children-friendly psychedelic drawings.
Just at a place in my practice where I was feeling really disconnected from what I was making and kind of in a transition period. And then I was at this residency and I started making these small, I call them like portrait paintings, but they're sort of like therapeutic process for me to process my emotions. And they were coming out as these sort of like kind of otherworldly, fantastical portraits and beings and characters. And I started noticing that they were kind of depicting different emotions that I was processing and moving through. And then I met a puppet builder, and they taught me this incredible kind of like paper mache technique. And then I decided to take those character paintings and make them into masks. And see what it would feel like to become that character even more. And then I was also doing murals at that time, and I wanted to sort of bring those two worlds together and sort of facilitate that process of making this mask with other people. It's really interesting because the process has so many different steps, and it's actually really intimate, and sometimes it's hard to translate the intimacy of what happens in the workshop to the actual image on the big public space. I think in the workshops, I think the reaction is really amazing. Like, I think people have sort of their own transformation, getting to know this character that they've chosen and how it represents them.
Pentru muralul ăsta m-a inspirat Dali și felul în care folosește lobsterul. Faptul că ia un obiect și îi dă un alt purpose și e puțin absurd și dreamy, și avea acest telefon cu un receptor în formă de lobster și zicea că nu este lobster, că e telefon sau nu mai știu exact. În fine, și nu știu de ce, mi-a plăcut mult forma asta de lobster, pentru că am văzut și rochia lui Elsa Schiaparelli cu print de Dali și la un moment dat mi-am cumpărat un album de Jeff Koons care avea un lobster gonflabil. Nu prea mă gândesc foarte, foarte clar și concret la ce fac, adică sunt diferite hinturi și influențe și mi se părea cool și surreal să ai un bloc cu un lobster huge.